Hi, welcome. My name's Jennifer Medina, the Professional Learning Events and Program Coordinator at Shape America. Today I'll be demonstrating how to submit a research symposium proposal for the 2026 Shape America National Convention and Expo in Kansas City, Missouri on the Shape America website. All research symposium proposals must be submitted online through the submission site by the deadline of Thursday, August 14th of the year 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Alrighty, so we are on our call for proposals page. Take a moment to look over the call for proposals page and familiarize yourself with it. Please take the time to go over the submission resources listed under step 3, which is right here under helpful resources. As you can see, there's information on how to submit all 3 types of proposals and tutorials, which you're watching one of them now, along with the frequently asked questions. If you scroll up, you can see 2 jump links. One is to submit your proposal, which will take you to the 4 steps necessary to submit your proposal. And you can get started by hitting Start Your Proposal, this pink button. And the other jump link takes you to supplemental resources, which you can see at the bottom of the page. Again, FAQs. You can locate a schedule at a glance, the justification toolkit, and if you're interested in learning more about the Learning Leader Spotlight or Power and Play showcase sessions, you can find information about that here as well. All right. Shape America is looking for dynamic, high-quality proposals that address timely issues impacting HPA professionals and students, offer actionable strategies and innovative solutions, and reflect best practices in instruction, assessment, research, and leadership. To submit your proposal, please complete the 4 steps and reference the additional guidance documents available on this page. So as you can see, step 1 is to review the presenter agreement. All presenters, authors, and co-authors must read and agree to the presenter agreement before listing themselves on a session proposal. So I'm going to go ahead and select presenter agreement so you can see what it looks like. It looks like this. Please take some time along with co-presenters to review the presenter agreement. Okay. Now, step 2 is to choose the right submission category. We ask that you carefully review the available submission categories as they've slightly changed this year. Then, off to step 3, which is to review submission guide. Essentially, review these resources so that you can see what to expect when submitting your proposal. And step 4, start your submission. Whether you're focused on curriculum design, advocacy, technology, or community engagement, your expertise can help the profession forward. Go ahead and select Start Your Submission Proposal. Alrighty? So this will take you to the Call for Submissions page. Notice on this right-hand side, there is a box that allows you to view, resume, edit, or withdraw a submission by typing in your presentation ID number and password. Please note that you will receive an email with your presentation ID number and password once you begin a submission, and you will also get it in your confirmation email. This information will allow you to access your proposal later on if you do not get to complete it right now or later, and if you wish to make changes prior to the August 14th deadline or withdraw it. At the top of the page, you can notice the different drop-down tabs that describe the overview of information that you will be providing throughout the proposal submission. Okay? So you can review those. It's just essentially, where you will submit your title, your author information, description, and so on. Okay. To begin a research symposium proposal, you're going to go ahead and select Research Symposium, which is the last option. So go ahead and select that. Okay. Now, essentially, this will take you to a countdown page, which will direct you to our member login page. If you already have an account, you could enter your credentials there. If you do not, we invite you to create a free profile and give us a try. You do not need to be a member to submit a proposal, but you do need to create an account. You can create this account at www.shapeamerica.org. If you have any questions or concerns, you can also call member services at 800-213-7193, extension 1490, or email membership@shapeamerica.org. Okay, so once you successfully have your credentials, um, you will insert those credentials and sign in. So as you can see, I submitted a proposal earlier, so I was already signed in, which brought me directly to this page. So after successfully signing in with your credentials, it will bring you to this page that I'm currently on. At this point, if you follow the previous steps on the original submission page, all speakers and co-authors have read the presenter agreement. Reminder, all presenters must review the presenter agreement before checking this terms and conditions box. Please make sure you read everything as you go along prior to checking boxes or agreeing to statements. So take some time to read this terms and conditions. Okay. Now, so let me check that. Okay. Now, the next is your session title or your symposium title. Go ahead and type in your symposium title. That's the title for the whole symposium, not just the individual abstracts that will come later on. This is the title for your whole symposium, what we should call it. For these purposes, just to get us through the steps, I'm going to just type something in place so that we can move on to the next steps. Okay? Okay. All right. So after that, if you've successfully logged in, um, your submitter's email address will automatically populate once you're signed into your Shape America account as a submitter of this proposal. If it does not, or you do not have a Shape America account, you can create one for free at shapeamerica.org. You do not have to be a member to submit a proposal. Next is your IRB approval or exemption. Research papers must have appropriate IRB approval or exemptions to be eligible for presentations at conventions. To complete the certification, you need to type your name in this box. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. For the description, you need to provide in 150 words or less the theme and an overview of your abstract. This description will be used in the online program guide. Do not list presenters or other participants here. Again, to move on to the next step, I'm going to type something in here for now, just so that we can move on. Okay. Select the category that best corresponds with your submission. Okay. Next, select the AV equipment that you will need for your presentation. Please note, Shape America does not provide laptops, CDs, or DVD players, extension cords, or laser pointers, While a selection of dongles to connect laptops to LCD projectors will be available, we do not recommend, I'm sorry, we do recommend presenters bring their own dongles or connectors just in case we don't have that specific one. All right. Now answer the AV question. So if AV equipment was unavailable for your presentation, would you be able to adjust your session to accommodate lack of AV? Let us know, yes or no. And then select your preferred room type. We have theater seating, which is rows of interlocked chairs. We have round tables, which is round tables with seating of 8 to 10 individuals per table. And we have activity open space or activity space, which is chairs surrounding the perimeter of the room, but the middle of the room is free or safe space. Now, I selected save. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but I selected save. It's always important that you select save as you go along. Now, in my case, when I selected save, there was an error or I missed something. The nice thing about this is that when that does happen, it will tell you in a red box. For example, fix arrows highlighted below. So now I'm gonna go look for those arrows highlighted. So what did I miss? Let's see. I forgot to select a room setup. Let me fix that arrow and of course select save. Wonderful. Which allows me to go on to step two. So if you fill step one correctly, it will directly send you to step two. In my case, there was an error, so I had to fix that before moving on. If you look at the above tabs, you will notice that the Setup Session tab has an orange and white check mark next to it to represent that it has been completed. You cannot skip forward in steps, but you can go back if you need to. Just ensure you always hit save at the bottom of each step when you make changes. So, for example, I can go back. And as right now I'm in people, I can go directly to people and work on that section as well. In order to move to step three, you need at least one planner and one presenter. It is important to note planners are not automatically listed as presenters on a session in the online schedule or mobile app. If the planner will also be a presenter, please check both boxes under the section of roles for their name to be listed in the program. If you only check planner and you do not indicate that the planner is a presenter, that planner will not show up in our online program. As another note, a planner for submission receives all communication for the session from Shape America and is responsible for communicating that information with all of the listed presenters. Please make sure your planner and presenters are aware of the planner responsibilities. Only planners can request changes for a session. The difference between an abstract and a symposium is that a symposium requires each author to have his or her own presentation and own abstract text. The research symposium model is set up to collect individual author and abstract details in a unique format. When selecting an author or presenter, type that presenter's correspondence abstract presentation title under Enter Presentation Title. You will need to associate an abstract and presentation title for each author. After entering an author and corresponding abstract title, you will have to enter additional information associated with that abstract by clicking on the title of that abstract, then clicking on the icon under abstract text. I know that's a lot of information, so let me walk you through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my first planner and presenter. I'm gonna make sure I'm hitting both of those boxes so that planner can also show up on the online program. So as you can see, I searched up them by their email. They are in the system. We always ask that you search for them first in hopes they're in the system. If they are not, we can obviously add them. I'll show you that next. But right now, let me show you someone who is in the system. Like I said, the difference between a symposium and an abstract is that in the symposium, each author has their own abstract text. So this, for example, this individual, she needs to tell me what her abstract text title is. So I'm gonna go ahead and write on for purposes. Okay. So that's gonna be her unique abstract title. I'm gonna search. There's her name. I've typed in the title. She now shows up here, but as you can see in red, it's telling me that it's incomplete. That means I still need to add that author's abstract information and abstract text. And then I will do that in a bit. First, let me go ahead and add in a person who's not in the system so you can see what that looks like. So if I type in, let's say someone's that's not in the system, our abstract title is look her up. You see, it says no match is found. So you will need to input all of their information, especially the required information like affiliation. Then you'll hit save and continue. That individual will be added. But in this case, I'm not going to add that individual. I'm just showing you as an example. I'm going to go ahead and add two more individuals so you can see what a symposium looks like. So I'm going to add, again, has their own abstract title. And I'm going to add one more individual just so that you can see. Okay, add another individual. Again, different title for that individual's individual abstract text. Alrighty. So which brings us here. A lot of red X's. The red X's will change to check marks once we input all the necessary information for all the authors. So they all need to include their own presentation and their own abstract text information. Please note the authors will be listed in the program in the order they are listed in this section. So make sure you pay attention to these orange arrows to the right of the author's names. These arrows will allow you to move authors up or down depending the order you want to see them in the system. So for example, if I want Chastity to be second, I can do that. But you just have to make sure you're hitting save once we've inputted everything. Right now, I can't even hit save because I've not completed everything. So I'm going to go ahead and do one person at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and go here. Same thing. They need to read the presenter's agreement, terms and conditions. Agree. Input their title. The submitter's email will be the same because you're the one filling this out for them. So make sure you gather all their information prior to starting. They're at the IRB approval again. Description, right? Again, in 150 words, they need to provide an overall theme and the overall of the abstract. This description will be used in our online program. Do not list other presenters or participants here. So again, I'm going to put something in here for now. So that we can move on. Again, it's an example. Then we select a category, preferred type. Please indicate all session formats in which you will be willing to present this research. Um, Select multiple formats may increase your chances of success in program. Please note the oral sessions are the most limited opportunities. Previous publication, you certify that this research has not been and will not be presented elsewhere prior to the National Convention and Expo. Our QS supplement. Please make sure you read this and agree. Asking if you're an international presenter who will require a visa invitation letter, please let us know, yes or no. Request for consideration for the graduate student award, please let us know, and if so, type in their name. If not, you can leave that blank and hit save. So we did that, we hit save. So as you can see, that X turned into check marks because we got that part done. Okay, so I did that part. Now I'm gonna go ahead and input the abstract text information. So you need to, as you can see, include a background purpose, a method, analysis results, and conclusion. Um, this should be incomplete sentences and phrases, but just to be able to move on purposes, to move this tutorial along, I'm just gonna add one or two words here. So that I can do that, so that we can move along. Okay? So please bear with me as I fill out this information so that we can move along. And again, you needed to do it for everyone. So once I'm done with the first person, I got to do two more individuals and then we can move on. Okay, so I've included everyone's information at this point. So as you can see, all you see is green check marks. Now, like I said, the easiest way to navigate is through these tabs up top. If you ever need to go back, just make sure you're saving as you go along. If you need to make any necessary changes, you can still do so by clicking this little pencil notepad. If you need to delete anyone, you can do so by deleting. You can change, again, the order. Just make sure you're hitting save. In this case, there is no save button, but this just selecting on to next step or description is your save button for this step. So it will do that. Alrighty. So this will bring you to your description. So for your description, so this is actually your abstract text of your overall symposium. So in 500 words or less, make sure that you indicate your title and or authors, I'm sorry. In 500 words or less, you need to let us know your overall abstract text here. We ask that you do not include your abstract text or author list here because they'll be incorporated using the other data you've already provided. You can copy your text from a document and paste it, or you can type it directly into the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and again, just so that I can show you what everything looks like, I'm gonna type something in here for now. And always select save and continue. So I did that here. All right. It took my computer a bit moment to buffer, but as you can see, all the steps have now turned into these orange, white, and orange check marks, indicating that I've completed all of these steps. Which brings us to our other step, which is the conclusive submission step. Now, before you submit, we ask that you review everything prior to submitting. Since I am reviewing, I do want to go back to description, if it'll load. So for your description, again, it cannot exceed 500 words, but this is in a way your extended description. And this description is used by your research council during the evaluation process. It can be different than the program description that you listed earlier under setup sessions. So the shorter description that you list under setup session, that's the one that goes on the online program. But this description, your extended description, is helps with the evaluation process of these proposals. It should include main points, objectives, or goals of your proposed program. And again, as I stated before, we ask that you do not list presenters or planner names here. All right, so now that I've stated that, now we can move on to the confirmation. Okay. Okay, so for the last step, what you've entered before selecting submit at the bottom of the page, we ask that you proofread everything prior to selecting the submit button at the bottom of this page, as you can see. If you need to make any changes, you can click on the appropriate tab or step at the top, as I mentioned earlier. Just make sure you're hitting save as you go along. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit submit because everything looks to be in order. Once you have submitted, it will say successful symposium submission, and all of your top tabs will be orange. Okay, that's how you will know that your submission went through. Now, the system will automatically generate a confirmation email to the listed submitter's email when you have successfully completed your proposal submission. Please note that the confirmation email only goes to the listed submitter on this session. These two forms of confirmation will inform you that you have successfully submitted your proposal. You will also see an orange print here button that we encourage you to print your submission for your records if you wish. On the column to the left, you have the option to view your submission or withdraw it and submit another submission if you like, or log out. If you do not see the left column, you can, in this case, as you can see, select these three lines and now you can see it. Okay. Remember that if you ever want to go back or log back into your presentation, refer to the email you received upon initiating your submission or the confirmation email sent to you, the proposal submitter's email that was provided. That will have that login information for you. If at any time you have questions regarding the proposal, please email proposals with an S at shapeamerica.org or call Shape America at 703-476-3400. Thank you for supporting Shape America and sharing your presentation with the Shape America community.